of Chai Pe Charcha. So thank you so much, Baby Chakra, for hosting this amazing session of Chai Pe Charcha, where we can meet a lot of wonderful moms who have been doing great in their lives, who have been inspiring a lot of women, who have been inspiring their own kids, their own families, and everyone near us. So today we have with us one such mom, that is Pallavi, who's a former cabin crew member, and at present she writes about beauty, lifestyle, kids fashion, and is also a digital creator. So let's move ahead and meet our guest for today, Pallavi. Hi, Pallavi. How are you?
Hi, Andrea. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, Pallavi. So can you tell us about yourself a bit? Um,
My journey, I flew as a cabin crew, and my experience was like for 7.5 years. Was that having a daughter and then leaving her and going to work was a bit tough because I didn't have much to take care of my daughter. So then I had to sit back, be a homemaker, and that's when I thought what to do about myself. Then there was second baby. So then that's how then I planned my journey about being an influencer. So now I'm happy being an influencer and a mom and a homemaker.
that's
That's
amazing
fun.
yeah, because even being an influencer is a full-time job. It's not as easy or as glamorous as it looks to everyone else. We need to work on your content. You need to think what next before somebody else does that. And there are a lot of pros and cons and tick marks and checklists that even the digital content creators need to go through. So I'm sure you have your hands full with two
Yeah,
kids around and being a digital content creator.
it does. But it's fun. You're engaged. You do something for yourself. That's the beauty.
Yeah, that
You're
is
not
more
sitting there.
important. You're doing something for yourself, something that you enjoy and something that you love. I'm sure that is the most important thing. What we say, professional satisfaction is what
Absolutely.
matters at the end of the day. So Pallavi, the topic for today, or the topic for our chat today, is life post COVID. So let's rewind a bit and talk about life pre COVID. Not rewind too much, but somewhere around probably March 2020. Let's talk about how did your life suddenly change when
Yeah.
the prime minister came on television and said कि ये दिन से लॉकडाउन शुरू होने वाला है, ये मिलने वाला है, वो नहीं मिलने वाला है, ये कर सकते हो, वो नहीं कर सकते.
Absolutely.
How did your
Absolutely.
life change?
So in March, so I was in Bangalore in March, and that's when people had the entire society had started like meeting up. There was the Holi and everything was there, and that's when people from outside was saying that take precautions Holi, and we were like full on. We played Holi, we had a dinner, we had a whole potluck kind of thing, and later on we were planning like let's do this every month. Let's start a Zumba classes for kids. Let's do tuitions for kids, and then there is lockdown. Everyone's locked down, all the doors locked down. My baby was 2 months, and this was just not planned.
Oh,
I was also planning for vacations ahead. I wanted to see Missouri, and I wanted to see Bangalore. So, but it just didn't happen because everything was shut. Everything was shut, and uh, it just felt very awkward. Like there was so many kids on the floor, on the same
yeah.
floor, but all the doors are shut. All the doors are just coming out. No one's in the garden. And my daughter would tell me, let's go out, play, let's call this one, let's call that one. And it was not possible. People started it was a weird stat back then. Yes, it just happened. And everybody faced it. A little hard.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, because my son was around and he was in his in his junior KG, and touchwood, his teacher had explained that there's something like COVID that is around. It's a virus, so you have to wash your hands. You don't have to go out. So luckily, for some time, it went inside his mind that something dangerous is there
Yeah.
outside. But after some time it was very difficult to control him, because after a month or so, children started getting frustrated a lot. That was what was happening.
They,
And for us, what had happened is we had shifted to a new house and he didn't have any friends. It was, just barely a few days he had gone out, and suddenly I've locked him in, and he can see that there's a garden downstairs, but he cannot go. Uh, so, handling that pressure after some time was very difficult, very tough.
It is
Uh,
difficult. It is difficult.
yeah, because, even kids can be
Kids are
patient
so kids are
only for too much time. Uh, so, during this phase, it does happen that, because our children are so frustrated, they tend to uh, be more impatient. So, I'm sure even you must have gone through this phase that, when kids are locked up and they get very impatient. And somehow, we both keep on transferring our impatience, and we both keep on transferring, what do you say, our temper, towards each other. So how did you handle that
somewhere,
situation?
somewhere it does go. So like when we have something like, so we I as a mom, uh, being at home, lockdown thing, it's in there. Like we've been at home only. I've been at home after my
Hmm.
job. I've been at home. That was normal for me. But initially, okay, trying to explain her someone's got someone's ill, this person's not well. All this thing was like fine. Later on, then after a month, she was insisting that no, you have to take me out. So I had to show her videos, those police wala maar raha hai, danda maar raha hai. Let's not go there. There's a cop standing there. He'll hit you. So he gave one to your daddy also. That's how then I tried telling her that, do you want to get hit by the cops? Do you want to do that? You see, that's how I had to show her, like, these things you can't do it. You can't step outside the cops standing, you'll get hit. And the other thing you want to follow is to follow hygiene. Then there are these poems on Instagram, on YouTube where you have to show, where they show good habits. So that you follow this, you will not follow it. You follow that, you will not follow it. So that's how I had to stop it. But then sometimes it used to get like, she just didn't understand that she wanted to do this. She just wanted to go out, and explaining her
Hmm.
would get so difficult. Like when you're done with everything, you on her YouTube, you on her TV, you sat, explain everything, and then they start throwing tantrums. Then they start throwing the things literally out, and then you're just
Hmm.
gone, you're lost it, and then you are being accused of not being a right mother at that. And then you have
Yeah.
to understand that also the person who's saying it is also in a state of mind where he's also sat at home, frustrated with his work from home, the kids. I think it's all on him also. So at that moment, you being a mother have to actually understand the state of your kid, your husband, and the state of the society that's going on, and then just keep quiet. Calm down. Write something about yourself. Make something for yourself to eat. That is what I did. I could not. I could not blast on anyone because I had a 3 months old baby. What to tell him? He's not going to understand. My daughter was not even 3 at that time, and but then she's not going to understand. Even if I explain her, hit her, yell at her, it's not going to. So the only thing that I did was I did listen to some music while I'm cooking, write down something, or make some notes, or do something nice for myself. That's what I would do.
That's a good technique, because uh, sometimes it's good that kids didn't understand a few things, because my daughter was almost 1 year. Yeah, she completed one in last April. And with her, the problem that we had later on was she would start crying seeing any new person, because she had not seen anybody except those five members of the house. So that was one of the problems
That's
that
the thing
I had
that I do.
to I know.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
totally understand that point. I totally understand that point because son Priyansh is going to be 2. But
yeah,
he cannot tolerate even a child from outside cannot touch him. He starts crying. So I totally
yeah,
understand her state. She was just one and you cut them off socially, which is the biggest thing. Like you are cutting them off socially, even from kids. That society is where we learn how to sit, stand, rise, draw, eat, all these habits, all the society that comes in from, and you're cutting the child from the society. That's the biggest I understand. A 1 year old the mentality, our process she must be having in, she must be frustrated, and then you have to handle it. How did you do it?
Yeah. So how did what was the role of your family and friends in helping you during this pandemic? How did talking to them, or probably video calls, or uh, what kind of support did you get from your family and friends during this difficult time, during this pandemic?
So my mom was there because my
Pallavi,
biggest
are
friend
you
was,
there?
yes, my mom was there. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Hi.
can hear you,
And
but there's still some issue with your voice. That's the only thing.
okay. This way.
Okay, yeah, you can carry on.
Okay. So the thing was, my mom was with me because my baby was 3 months old. So a little emotional support was always there. It was always there. Besides that, then a few group of my friends from Instagram, Pranjal, Divya, Bhumika, Hema, all these people, we thought of making a video for ourselves, washing hands and doing some safety stuff. So we made a video, like an IGTV for ourselves, what we do, like little makeup with kids and all. That's what we did. And then we used to video chat. Like we started video chatting with all those ones from Instagram that I had with friends. And then I even spoke to a few friends who had already gone through the phase of COVID and they had a tough time. So the only thing I could do for them was talk to them, emotionally help, try and help them, tell them what can be done better, or calm down, do something nice, tell them how to take care of their health or diet. That's what I would just do. There was nothing much that I could do for them. But yes, friends were there to mentally support, like a mental support, a major mental support.
That's absolutely true. So let's move ahead with the most crucial question. There's a saying that COVID is just a number till it doesn't touch your family. So, did it happen? I don't know how to phrase this question. This is a very awkward question, but yeah, did you know anyone who
As
was
in,
COVID positive or who had COVID?
yeah, I know. My own like my cousin Anuradha Katta. So she was COVID positive. Her entire family was COVID positive, and uh, the mother, my cousin Anuradha Katta, her son was positive. Her daughters were positive. Her uh, husband was positive. But Anuradha, my cousin, she didn't know that everyone in the family is positive. Everyone were hospitalized separately. She faced some 90% lung failure, something, and she's still struggling with it. She's getting like she's being cured right now also. Besides that, even my father, my brother faced it, but we were calm and composed when it came to my family. We did panic initially, but when we took care of it, we followed all the protocols. Everybody who had already gone through it supported us at that time, told us what's to be done, what's not to be done. Don't fall for this, don't fall for that. Because initially, when people fell for many things that were not to be followed, I had lost a lot of things. So that's why. So my family has gone through it. I just wish, like, cross fingers, this just gets over. It's not like someone's getting hit. It's really bad. It's very bad. It's not like a normal cold. People one of my friend who's in Delhi, Pranjal, her husband, she and her husband both had COVID, and they have a daughter who's just 2.5 years old. That's when both husband and wife had to take care of themselves. There's no one to take care of them and the daughter. So she used to tell me that Abhishek wakes up at night and panics, and he starts yelling. Feels like he's hallucinated, and starts saying that I can't breathe. Take me to the hospital. And there were no beds in Delhi. So she told me about this, and this would get me goosebumps even now. So when she had told me about her whole experience, that when my brother and my father COVID, that was like my family to go through it. I would not want anyone, even my most hated enemy, also to be going through it. It's just not a number there. It exist, and I don't know when this will be over. But yes, it's worst.
Yeah, it's a very bad situation around, because even we are just praying that even I've personally known a lot of friends and relatives who have been positive. Touch wood, a lot of them recovered, and their health was not impacted much. But some of them couldn't
Yeah.
survive. But yeah, that's how life is, and life goes on. So talking about post COVID scenario, what is one thing that the pandemic has taught you as a mother? What is the biggest lesson that you learned in the
As
last
a
one
mother,
and a half years?
do not take anything for granted. Nothing to be taken for granted. Be the facts coming from outside, or you sitting at home and just eating or cleaning your nose. Don't take anything for granted. Nothing at all. A package of PR coming from outside has to be left alone, isolated. You coming from stepping out from the garden or anywhere in my house, go your hands, wash your feet, then sit at home. All the hygiene level has to be maintained. This is what is my learning, and I'm not going to take anything for granted. Even if my daughter sneezes, I am going to make sure that this is not going more than a day or two. That is my taking from it. Nothing's to take into granted. Absolutely nothing.
Okay. So Pallavi, do you think, would you be the same, probably, as you just said, that you don't take anything for granted. If you're coming from out, you have to wash your hands and feet, only then you can sit inside. The PRP package has to be kept in an isolation. These are some practices that we did not have, or we did not do until the last 1.5 years ago. Do you think there may be a time, probably 2 years or 5 years down the line, where everything may be back to normal? We may just be like, yeah, PR package aaya, chalo uthao kholo ho gaya. uh, do you think that in the future
That
everything will be back to what we used to do earlier, like go outside without a mask, and no social distancing and anything as such? Do you think a time will come like that once again, or are we very conscious now?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure. Please
I'm sure
continue.
we are conscious about it, but yeah, I'm sure we are conscious about it, but I'm not sure how many of them are, because when we go outside, I see people in the food hall, a food court of a mall. It's not a restaurant, it's a food court. There are hundreds of people together eating and not wearing masks. So, and now even schools are going to reopen, and everything is opening. Theaters are open. I just wish that people, even after a year or two, don't take this lightly, because it's the nature of virus to redevelop, re-emerge, and uh, get themselves evolving. They keep re-evolving, and they keep adapting a new habitat. That is what a virus is. So I don't know if it's going to vanish or not, but I definitely am not sure whether people will follow this habit. But I really wish people follow this habit at least till the time we are 100% sure that this virus just doesn't exist anymore. And I'm not sure about what is happening, because theaters are starting, and I don't know whether theater people would like to sit with the mask or hold a pop tabloid in their hand.
Yeah,
That's something to do with.
that is a really confusing question. Whether I should wear a
Yeah,
mask or should I hold a tub of popcorn. So yeah,
exactly.
it is funny, and what is the biggest challenge is going to be to send these younger ones to school, because they'll be like, oh, I like your mask, come, let's exchange, and then the whole purpose of
Yeah.
having.
Oh, I like that print. Yeah, I like that frozen print. I want that Mickey Mouse. Oh, you have this
Yeah,
spider mask. That for sure is happening. That for sure is happening.
yeah, that for
And
sure
then
is.
what did you get in your ticket? Eat that thing.
Yeah,
And
or until
and
and unless.
there's,
And
there's one thing with kids that, at least with me in my school, that was always there. So if there is any virus or anything that's there, like So kids tend to, tease people, like tease themselves. I'll make a COVID hair. Let me touch you. Let me do achu with you. Let me do this.
Yeah.
Kids do that, and I'm sure they will do it. I'm not sure reopening thing. How is it going to go? Because kids will do it for achu. Le, maine khwa diya. I'm
Yeah,
going to do this.
they'll do it purposely.
To you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something fun for them.
they usually have it. They don't have it. For fun. Yeah, definitely that's fun.
And they may probably even start wearing masks on their forehead or on their head as a hairband. I mean, you don't know how creative they're going to get once the schools reopen, because for quite some times parents are not going to be there to monitor them. But hopefully, let's pray that they understand the importance of um, uh, you know understand the importance of having a mask and maintaining social distance, because in Bombay some schools have around 80 students in a classroom, and I don't know how they're going to manage all this, because it's tough. There are 3 to 4
That's a
students who
huge
sit on
number.
the same bench and all, so it's a huge challenge. I don't know what criteria government is going to do. So
Absolutely.
hopefully by next June, all kids are vaccinated.
Students in one class.
Yeah, 80 students in one class. That's a norm in a lot of schools in Bombay. Yeah, a lot of schools in Bombay, 80 students in one class and 4 to 5 divisions. Like first standard का आपके पास 4 to 5 divisions है, उसमें 80 students, 80, 85. In some schools I've even seen 90. And this is all managed by one or at the max 2 teachers, and these are all small kids, senior KG, first standard, second standard, who barely understand anything. So I don't know, that is one thing that worries me a lot. It is a real scale.
Like 80, 90, who to point at? 89 at a time.
That's
a task.
Yeah, I guess in almost all the schools, at least 70 is a norm. Until and unless you're not in an IG board or you're not in one of those expensive schools where you may have 20 to 25 or at the max 40 students. Otherwise, it's a proper norm in Bombay कि 70 के ऊपर तो बच्चे होने ही है classroom में. So that is something that's really scary, considering this present scenario. So that is one
scary. That's all the more scary. Standing with 80 kids in a class.
Yeah, even generally 80 kids in a class itself is scary, and plus when all these things are happening, so you don't know who's going to sanitize, you don't know who's genuinely got a cold and who's doing that achu to just disturb someone. It becomes a bit of challenge
just to teach someone.
Yeah, just to teach something to manage. So I just hope that all schools take initiative in vaccinating their own students, so that at least their own students are vaccinated, and it's
now the kids vaccine is going to be has got thumbs up, so probably they can introduce as soon as possible. So and that's done. I think we post that sending kids to school will be, I can't say if it will be till enough or no, but yes, if there is no choice, that's we have to.
Yeah, because homeschooling also, even the students, the teachers, the parents, everybody is at the threshold of losing their patience, because we are all frustrated with each other. Students are angry with parents, parents are angry with teachers, teachers angry with students, and there's a huge fight that's going on amongst ourselves. It's nobody's fault actually. It's just that we are all we are also stuck by a limitation that there's only so much that we can do, and there's so much that we want to do. That is the whole problem. So any tip that you would like to give to our audience with respect to life post COVID, or any message that you would like to give to our audience?
I would actually like people to know that being life is not that long and not that short. So don't take anything for granted. Keep your hygiene up to the mark. Your kids' hygiene to make sure that you follow these healthy lifestyle. Don't leave masks like that. Even after a year or two, please make sure that you follow everything that we are doing now. Just keep the hygiene up. Don't take life for granted. Don't take parcels or food deliveries immediately from anyone else's hand. Don't go out much. Like there's no life ahead. Like nothing's going to happen. Just be careful. That's it.
Yes, definitely. You have to be responsible for your own family and your own health. Pallavi, just one last question before we leave. I know I should have asked you earlier. Did you learn something new in this lockdown? Or did you develop interest in some new field or something that you wanted to do since long? Did you take up a new hobby or an activity?
One thing I've learned is patience.
Okay,
One
that
thing
is
is
a big
patience.
skill set.
Patience. And then I've learned about, I'll tell you that. So every family has this man child who went to school, then to college, then to work, and has never been at house in the lockdown. So that has returned back. So understand the state that you have to go through. So that patience with every what I've learned. And second thing, my hobby, so I've done more of Instagram friends and making reels what I'm doing nowadays. So that's what I'm doing more. That's the only hobby.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think a lot of us lost patience during the lockdown, and you developed, the skill set of having patience with everyone. I think that's a huge achievement that you personally had in the last almost 2 years now. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Pallavi, for being for
Thank you so
sharing
much,
your
Aishwarya.
experience with
Thank you
us.
so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we
Thank
come
you so
to
much for allowing me to share my experience.
yeah. So thank you so much to Pallavi and all the Baby Chakra moms who made this show possible. So here we come to an end to another episode of Chai Pe Charcha. We'll be joining you soon in another episode with another guest. So thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.